if you're cooking, let's say that you're cooking like so, it starts cooking, and then you swap it out. Okay, it doesn't actually work. Okay, this is gonna be another short video like the other bug fix video we had. I did explain it in the comments as well, how to do it, but we're also gonna do it in the video because I know that some people are visual learners instead and might prefer that. So it's gonna be a short little video. The first problem was pointed out about the campfire. So if I start cooking, let's do the steak. So I got 2 steak here. I start cooking the steak, and if I swap it out and then now start cooking the chicken, then the steak turns into chicken and it continues to do its thing. So that's what we're going to do now, and you will. It's a very, very, very simple answer. You just open up your campfire, and then you go to your event graph over here. We are checking if we're currently processing. If that is false, then we are going to check for the process. When we are in here, we are checking for the processing item. That is not the problem though, because everything is fine over here. We're checking if it's a success, it's okay. We're setting current processing, setting delay, and then we're checking if it exists. And that is where the problem is. If you go into checking if it exists, you can see that it's looking okay. However, if you go back, actually one check to look at it. So if you look at it, you got on the check if item exists, right? We are doing a branch out of that. If it's true, then we're adding to the current stack, right? If it's false though, then we're finding an empty slot. The problem is that if you can spot it, it's a very simple solution. I'm gonna wait for like 2 seconds and come back. If you want to figure it out yourself, the answer is in here. Anyway, the answer is that we are passing out a success. However, we're not passing out a false. So just return here with a false, and that will fix your problem. So if I now go into compile this and click play, now I have some, let's do the steak again, because we already have some steak in there. Let's do it like that. So now I got the steak. I am cooking the steak. I'm adding the chicken, and the chicken starts getting processed on the side. Right, so that fixes that problem. Another thing that is pointed out is that there's a delay that between the when it goes away until you get it. Okay, so if you look here, the problem with the delay thing is that over here we have the delay, which is adding the item. So after this has happened, the item is added. Over here is where we delete it, right? If we just add a thing to our return node here, we add a item to remove, and that's of type master item, and then we add a quantity to remove, which is the type integer, and then the item quantity, hold down control, and on this return node, because remember, this return node, we're killing it, because then it's 0. We don't have anything else. We're killing it. This one is where we're updating the stack, right? So you want the out from the quantity -1. You want to apply that into the quantity to remove. The item comes from our breakup here. Item to remove over there. Kill it should be still left as blank. The index comes from the array index over there. Just copy this set array element and then delete it. Plug your false into the return node. Compile that. Head back into your macro. Out in your macro, after we're checking it, after the delay is done, then we want to set the array element. Just plug that into the complete out from the delay. The index comes from the index from our check for processing item. The item comes from the item to remove. The quantity to remove is the quantity. And that should be taking care of that. If I now compile and save that, hit play. If I remove this charcoal, and yeah, okay, so now it should go instantaneously. Once the process is done, it's going to move over immediately without a delay. There we go. there's that. Another thing that I mentioned in the previous video that I want is an ability to. Do I have a equipment? I have a helmet here. So right now you have to right click to equip. I tried to drop it in the previous video because that felt natural to me, and it doesn't work. So we're gonna do that. How are we gonna do this? We're gonna go into our equipment slot. So if we head to our equipment slot, into our graph, over on our functions, override on drop, cast that to our inventory drag drop. Out from this, you can get your drag item details, or if you don't have it, because there's been a mishap for me. I remember where you, I think I mentioned it in the other bug fix video, how to add the drag item details. If you don't, you can also get the item from it. I just have everything in the drag item details. You're gonna break that open. You're gonna get your HUD ref. You're gonna get your inventory ref. And then we're gonna do a use item at index. I got a little bit ahead of myself, and I had to do a little debugging. You're gonna want this, so just keep that. Move the return node out a little bit. And what we are gonna do is we're just gonna make sure that we're not dropping anything weird. So we're gonna get the defaults. We're gonna break open the item info. Out from our item categories. So this one, you're gonna switch on the categories. If it's a consumable, material, fuel, or wood, we're gonna just go like that. And then if it's an equipment, we're just gonna use the item at index, like so. Index comes from our dragged item details index, and the item comes from our dragged item items. Return with a success. File and save that. Hit play. I got my helmet, and I'm dropping the helmet to equip it. Anyway, so that's how you would drag your equipment to equip it. Can unequip it like that. Can equip it like this. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. Turned out to be a little bit longer than I anticipated, but we added a new functionality as well. Also, you can see the drop items is currently showing, and that is simply because when you drop the item, you need to hide it again, right? So if we go into our equipment slot and we go on drop, then we want to get our HUD ref, get our, what do we call this one? Dropbox, and then set the visibility of that to be hidden once we're done. And there we go. Now we got the ability to equip items like that as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.